iPhone 15 Pro Max versus 16 Pro Max versus 17 Pro Max. Which one should you get? How is it going, everybody? You're watching Then About Tech. So if you're thinking about the flagships, the best phones Apple has ever made, but you don't really know what's the difference between them. And right here, I'm not talking about the in-depth details, specs, and small numbers. No. I'm talking about real-life differences like camera, battery, features, what you actually want to know. So in this video, that's exactly what I'm gonna answer. Which one is the best buy? Which one you should actually spend your money, get, and you won't regret it. And right off the bat, I have to tell you that if you're thinking about the iPhone 15 Pro Max, it's gonna be very hard to find one new, like brand new, like sealed in the box, completely new, simply because it was discontinued a couple years ago, so it's not gonna be easy. So you're either gonna find a refurbished 15 Pro Max or a used one. And there's no problem with that. I just wanna be very clear that that's the reality. And the same will apply very shortly to the iPhone 16 Pro Max as well. It's not gonna be around for much longer, all right? Okay, so let's talk about the difference between those devices. So starting with the display. Keep in mind that the iPhone 16 Pro Max and 17 Pro Max have a slightly bigger display compared to the 15 Pro Max that had a 6.7 inch. The newer iPhones have a 6.9 inch. But the 15 Pro Max and 16 Pro Max are pretty similar to one another, just this size difference, but the 17 Pro Max has more features. First, it's actually way brighter than the other one. It has more nits. It has more peak nit brightness. So like if you are in a very like super bright environment, you're always gonna read what's on the screen. And to make things even better, it actually has an anti-reflective coat on it. So it's not gonna reflect so much. So the display, the screen itself is better on the 17 Pro Max because of those two main differences. Now talking about the performance, the 15 Pro Max and 16 Pro Max are pretty much the same. Just like a little bit better chip on the 16 Pro Max, but very similar. But when we're talking about the 17 Pro Max, then we have a huge bump. Because of the processor, the A19 Pro is an amazing chip, but again, it's not gonna be like way faster than the previous generations, but the main difference here is RAM, so now it has double the RAM. The 15 Pro Max and 16 Pro Max actually have 8 gigabytes of RAM, the 17 Pro Max 12, so that's a big difference, and it has a vapor chamber. And because of that, thermals are so much better on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. It just pretty much never overheats, and that of course impacts dramatically the performance because it can sustain so much more peak performance because it doesn't overheat very easily. Like it's actually very hard. So performance is actually better on the 17 Pro Max because of RAM and of course the vapor chamber. Now let's talk about cameras. Again, 15 Pro Max to 16 Pro Max, pretty much the same thing. We didn't see a big jump here when we're talking about those two generations, but the leap forward when we're talking about the 17 Pro Max, it's pretty relevant. So first, when we're talking about the main cameras, so the cameras on the back, we can definitely tell an improvement on the ultra-wide. Ultra-wide is just better. It's 48 megapixels for the first time. Before it used to be 12 megapixels, so it's just a better camera overall. But the biggest improvement is in the selfie camera, the front-facing camera. I've talked about this so many times, how the selfie camera on the iPhone 17 Pro Max looks and feels that it is actually a rear camera on the front. It just feels like it's the main camera on the front. It's just so much better. I have no idea. It has way more features. The field of view is way wider. It can actually take landscape photos while you're holding it, portrait. It has dual video capture. So the selfie camera is amazing on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. You'll definitely notice the difference instantly. That's probably the feature that when I show to friends and family members, they actually get super excited about the selfie camera. It's really a big improvement. And speaking about big improvements, we have the battery. And the iPhone 17 Pro Max battery is just so good. I actually made a dedicated video just about the 17 Pro Max battery. So I'll leave a card right here, link in the description, where I showed you that it's just way better than previous generations. The 15 Pro Max and 16 Pro Max battery were pretty much like the same. They didn't really change at all. It was pretty much the same battery, same like lifespan, same battery life, same thing. But the 17 Pro Max, it's so much better. So it has actually 5,000 milliamp hours of battery, which on its own doesn't say much, but just so you have an idea, with the 15 Pro Max and 16 Pro Max, generally we would get around 8 hours and a bit of screen active time on a full charge. When we're talking about the 17 Pro Max, it's 10 hours and a half, same full battery. So we're getting 2+ hours every single day out of this battery. So it's just super, super way better. Of course, we have to talk about design. The 15 Pro Max and 16 Pro Max have pretty much the same design. It didn't change. Even the colors, you can get almost the same colors. But of course, when we're talking about the 17 Pro Max, it's completely different. The design is so different. It has the aluminum unibody. So we have the bright colors. So you have to kind of think about it and see if you like it or not. I, in my opinion, like it. I even got the orange, as you know, because I think it stands out. It's so cool. And of course, it's the color that you guys want to see the most. But it's subjective. You really need to think about if you like it or not. But something that's not subjective is the use of aluminum with the vapor chamber makes this new design way more thermal efficient. So as I said before, this is great for performance and it's great for your battery in the long run, for all your components. Having an iPhone overheating all the time is annoying and bad in so many ways. On the iPhone 17 Pro Max, that pretty much never happens. And last but not least, when we're talking about the design, this new 17 Pro Max is actually a little bit thicker and heavier compared to previous generations. You definitely tell, especially if you use a bulky case, you feel like it's a substantial thing, so it's pretty heavy, so you have to keep that in mind. It's not like the 15 or 16 Pro Maxes are super light, but it is substantially heavier. So then, in the end of the day, when you're thinking about which one you should get, I'm gonna give you my verdict right now. So the iPhone 15 Pro Max and 16 Pro Max are very similar. In design, in features, in improvements, they're just very, very, very similar phones. So I just don't think it makes much sense upgrading from one to the other. Or maybe if you're coming from an older device, getting the 15 or 16, they're gonna be pretty much the same thing. In my opinion, if you're looking for the flagship, if you're looking for the good, best phone, go for the 17 Pro Max. And I know it's expensive right now. I know we're not getting really good deals at the moment, and that's normal, especially if you're watching this video right after I post it, which like a few weeks after the release of the iPhone 17. It's okay, but if you wait a few more months, you're gonna get the 17 Pro Max with an amazing deal, with prices that are gonna be very close and similar to the iPhone 16 Pro Max, but it is a way better phone in every single way. Unless, of course, you don't like the design. That's okay, that's normal. But on the objective parts of the phone, on the features, and like performance, camera, battery, everything, this phone is just way better than 16 Pro Max and 15 Pro Max. Like hands down, there's nothing, you just don't even think about it, all right? So it's just a matter right now of waiting, in my opinion. Wait and get the 17 Pro Max at a good deal. It's worth the wait. If you go ahead and get a 16 Pro Max right now, in 3 or 4 months from now, you're gonna be so upset because you could have gotten the best phone and you didn't, and now they're the same price. So just wait, get the 17 Pro Max, you're gonna enjoy it. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one as usual. Bye bye, guys.